Hi, this is Deb Helfrich, hashtag Redheaded She-Hulk. I'm also the founder of Wellbeing Philosophy. YouTube won't let me record more than 60 seconds, so here we are again in the Barnes & Noble under The Sound and the Fury. What an appropriate novel title. To talk about my odyssey, to talk about how I understand the hard problem of consciousness as an easy problem, and the ramifications of sorting consciousness differently have led to an entirely new theory of everything. Understanding human energy via E equals MC squared, just pivoting that a little to she, sustainable human energy. Need to do just a little bit of explaining past what Einstein did. I mean, we're humans. If energy equals mass, the speed of light squared, for everything else in the universe, why not for life? Of course it's the same. It's ever so slightly different. Life has some additional variables to take into consideration, and that's part of my life's work, is redefining E equals MC squared as she equals. And I just want to talk about the fact that understanding consciousness brings us to the point of life-centric thinking. Life-centric thinking has three heuristics. The math of life, 1 + 1 = 3. 1 man + 1 woman equals a third baby. Life adds up differently than stuff. The most powerful heuristic is evolutionary logic. It's thinking about everything alive in terms of evolution. Now, we know about the origin of the species. We've interconnected us and all species, the development of life. Consciousness evolves too. Human civilizations evolve too. Civilizations of primates, of rabbits, of elephants evolve. So if consciousness and civilizations also evolve, that means, what is evolution? Well, there's another video you can go look at. I explain what evolution is. But it's the third heuristic of hashtag Wellbeing Philosophy. The environment is everything. And this is such a profound thing, it's impossible to really know how to explain it. I need to have a Socratic dialogue. With most of my work, quite frankly, it appears to be the case. That how I understand it and how I've developed ways to talk about it, in order to get people there, they need to be able to ask questions. Which is why I'm pissed off that I can't do YouTube lives. At least to start getting some of this out and circulating, which it doesn't, because the algorithms are not defined to believe that consciousness is creative. Consciousness is linear, and we want ever shorter, ever briefer. You can't learn a new theory of everything in 60 seconds. You can't even really trust all of these people who are making these short videos. I mean, sure, you might like how they look, but how does that? Coming out with integrity is a difficult situation. And integrity is what's brought me to being bankrupt. I want to share these concepts widely. I do want to first be employed by Carnegie Mellon and do some research on the brainwave aspect of it, on the hard science of my hypotheses. Need a little neurofeedback machine. These things are now not a big deal. And watching my brainwaves and seeing what happens as I get into trance through conversation, pretty interesting. I'm certain. I am certain. Gamma brainwaves. Bill Bixby attributed his hawkishness to gamma radiation, and that is exactly filters in gamma radiation too far up the Hertz scale. It's interesting that the director of the Neuroscience Institute at Carnegie Mellon focused her work on auditory science. Very interesting. So I'm charging up and trying to figure out how to convey all this in an email. Very interesting music. But it was a sort of mamba salsa groove versions of like Love Is the Drug, and now they're doing Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. Talking about sound and auditory processing, you can't be in charge of your own consciousness when so many environmental inputs are streaming at you constantly. Your conscious is hijacked, and you think that you're in charge of your own self, but the environment is dictating who you are at any given moment. See, I embody, therefore I am. What looks like an awkward pause turns out to be a really important embodied example of we've built an environment that diminishes and devolves consciousness. Our sensory vagal nerve, help, what's all this going on? There's only so many threads of environmental input that our conscious mind, which, the typical word is 40-bit processing to 40 million bits. Getting up in your subconscious, I'm here now, I'm watching all the people move around, I'm looking at all of the situations. I just had, I think, a hot flash. Now I'm feeling the coolness of a vent from somewhere. We've got to get back into understanding that the brain doesn't function well if the body is not optimized. I embody, therefore I am. That's the end of this. Harmony, y'all.